6 hard-fought games. The stakes do not get any higher.
Two of the greatest words in the world. Game 7.
There's nothing like Game 7 in the NBA Finals.
One game for everything you ever dreamed of.
Puts it in. He is the moment. One game, NBA Finals, Game 7.
For just the 5th time in the last 35 years, we have an NBA Finals Game 7 tonight at 8 on ABC. The first Game 7 since LeBron and the Cavaliers knocked off the Warriors on the road in a Game 7 in 2016. As NBA reporter Tim MacMahon joins us now live from Oklahoma City, Tyrese Haliburton, game time decision in Game 6 with that calf strain. As you know, he played 23 minutes, 14 points, 5 assists. What's the latest on his health tonight?
Howdy, Hannah. He's listed as questionable. This is not a game time decision. This is Game 7. Tyrese Haliburton will be playing. Look, he says it's still sore. If this is the regular season, there's no way he's playing in this game. This is the NBA Finals. It's a winner-take-all game. He's going to get treatment all day, try to get that thing as healthy as it possibly can be. He's not going to be 100%, but he wasn't 100% in Game 6, and you saw him still be able to make an impact in the Pacers win. He hopes to repeat that tonight.
Yeah, as a playmaker and a scorer, he can impact the game in so many ways, and he has plenty of help on that deep bench. So let's talk a little bit about Rick Carlisle's teams going in tonight. You and I both covered a few years ago, seems like yesterday, as he led the Mavericks to a massive upset win over LeBron and the Heat. It was in the finals, 2011. They clinched that on the road in Game 6. How does that experience impact Rick's approach to tonight?
You know, it was funny. Mark Daigneault was asked about what it's like coaching against Rick Carlisle, and the first word he said was humbling. You know, Rick Carlisle is a proven championship coach. Not only a proven championship coach, he's pulled off what might be the biggest finals upset of the modern era, and this is one that would rival that. And you know, Rick doesn't want to make it a lot about him. He was willing to discuss the similarities between that 2011 Mavericks team and this Pacers team. The first thing he really cited was the competitive character of these teams. Now, that Mavericks team, much more veteran. They had Jason Kidd deep into his 30s. Dirk Nowitzki, you know, 32. This is a much younger Pacers team, but one, again, that is primed, or at least positioned, to be able to pull off one of the biggest upsets that we've seen in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, he really switched up that defense in an elimination game in Game 6. You don't know what wrinkle he's going to bring tonight as he looks to try to become just the 4th coach to win NBA titles with 2 different teams. Let's focus on the home team, the Thunder. They're 10-2 at home this postseason, scoring nearly 15 more points per game at the Paycom Center than they do on the road. What are they saying about playing in front of their home fans tonight?
And listen, they are hard to beat at the Paycom Center, and the atmosphere here is insane. They call it Loud City, and it lives up to that. It's so loud that Jalen Williams said it makes the hair on your arms stand up. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander said as amazing as the crowd is, the home court advantage is really about just that comfort zone. You know, they're having to shoot around at their facility this morning. Their meals being prepared by their chef. You know, they slept in their own beds last night. And again, this is a team, this will be the 3rd time during this playoff run that the Thunder have had a chance to end a series on their home floor. The previous 2, well, they beat the Nuggets by 32 in a Game 7, and they eliminated the Timberwolves by 30 last round. So we'll see that if that trend continues, it parades next year in Oklahoma City.
It's really hard to imagine that kind of blowout tonight with these 2 teams, but if this series has shown us anything, it's pretty unpredictable. Tim MacMahon, we appreciate you. And Anscape senior writer David Dennis Jr., NBA analyst Quentin Richardson with us to break down this winner-take-all game tonight. We have our regular season MVP, SGA. He has to meet some really hefty expectations tonight. If the Thunder lose, this will be considered an epic failure. You cannot assume that you're going to get back year after year, even though they're a young team. He's coming off a bad game. Q, I'll start with you. How does he balance between being aggressive and being smart tonight?
Man, Hannah, I think he absolutely has to come out aggressive. But like you said, being smart, he has to kind of allow the game to slow down for him. You know, where the great ones go, they always say the game kind of slows down. They saw things differently, and he needs to have one of those nights. The one thing we do know is that he's going to get you at least 30. He's averaging 30.5 in this series, and he's had 10 straight 30 plus point games at home, and they at home tonight. So I expect him to be who they need him to be, because when he's the aggressive leader of the team, he allows everybody else to exude that confidence and play with the confidence, knowing that their leader is on point and he's here to save the day if need be.
The other thing that'll help him with that confidence is getting the ball to him. And through games 3, 4, and 6, he's only averaging about 2 assists in those games. The best game they had in that stretch, game 5, he had 10 assists. But the other thing he needs to do, I think, to get out the gate is search some of those mismatches. I think they left Haliburton off the hook a little bit in game 6, not testing out that cap. I know the Pacers were doing a little bit to try to make sure he wasn't left alone, those islands with the switches and things like that.
Right.
But OKC can do some countermeasures there to try to get him locked in on SGA one-on-one, especially early on. Find some of those mismatches. Get Haliburton on the island. Get Toppin on the island if you need to, and that gets him going a little bit early, and it opens up the floor and gets the ball out to other people when they start to double.
Yeah, and they were not able to ever force the Pacers to bring a third defender, right? And so you've got to figure there's going to be adjustments on both sides of the ball tonight. Let's talk about Tyrese Haliburton. You mentioned that calf strain. He didn't have to play a lot of minutes, 23 minutes in that game 6. They got production across the board. I know it is really, really tough to pick just one Indiana Pacer. Who's the most important member of that supporting cast tonight, Q?
I'm going with Pascal, Hannah. I think he's as important, if not more important, than Haliburton, because obviously they need him to make the engine go and make the vehicle move. But if you look at it the whole season, Pascal has been the leading scorer. Pascal was the all-star. Pascal is a guy who actually won a championship and was very impactful in that series and helping Toronto win the championship. So, I mean, you got to look at Pascal and what he's done for the team. He's been a consistent scoring guy for them, and I think that's what he brings to the table. And if they don't get 20-plus from him, I think it's going to be difficult for them to win no matter who does what.
Birthday twin, I agree with like 99% of what he said. The only thing I have a disagreement with, that guy's not a supporting cast. He may get those eyes rolling back before the game and walk away with the Finals MVP to put together another great game like that. For me, we're talking about supporting cast members, people like that. It's TJ McConnell.
Oh,
I don't understand how the best defense we've seen cannot stay in front of this dude. He is getting in the paint whenever he wants. He's got 60, 25, and 15 for the season, for the series off the bench. We've never seen that. He has single-handedly turned games around for the Pacers, especially with those backcourt steals and the steals that he got in Game 6. This dude is a wild card for this Pacers team. If he does something like that, especially down the stretch in Game 7, he could turn the series around.
Agreed. I like Andrew Nembhard too, right? Because he's not only defending SGA, he also ranks #1 in three-point percentage in the playoffs. But literally, we could throw multiple other names out there. You never know who's going to come up big in a finals.
TJ is the proverbial gnat at the barbecue. He just comes in and annoys everybody. He just get out of here. If you're not on his team, you want no parts of seeing him come in the game.
He's so annoying, right? He's like Danny Ainge back in the day, right? You're just like, you just don't want to see him coming if you're on the other side.
And look, Carlisle has had this before. You had J.J. Barea when he won the championship with him. This is not the first time he's utilized a player like that.
That's right. And boy, the way they've utilized the salary cap, the team they built in Indiana, really impressive the way they've done it. You two are always impressive. Thanks.
But right here, right now, it's all about Game 7 of the NBA Finals, baby. We are here. We are amped up and ready to go. And we have Anscape senior writer David Ennis Jr. and Quentin Richardson, our NBA analyst, back with us here on SportsCenter. Let's kick it off with your 3 Q-tips. Q, what you got for us?
Well, you know, we got to start off. We got to start off with the boy Tyrese. I felt like he had a great Game 6. The way Carlisle deployed him out there, played him a lot with TJ McConnell. He was able to be more aggressive. I felt like he had 14. He could have got 20. I think this game, if the Pacers want to win, he needs to get that 20-point threshold. You know their record when he gets 20-plus points. Secondly, got to look at my young fella, J-Dub, Jalen Williams. He went from 40 points to -40 in Game 6. He needs to be closer. I mean, we don't expect him to get 40, but he needs to be the aggressive 20-plus points, the support system that SGA needs. He needs to be able to be that point forward that can set SG up and get him in scoring position to relieve some of that pressure. So J-Dub has to have a big night. Lastly, if we want to see if the Thunders want to have that success, like they always have in them bounce back games after they lose and they come back the next game, this is on their home court. They need to deploy that defense the way they did in Game 5 down the stretch, and they need to do it early and often. If they could get off to a great start early, they give this building a chance to get involved, and the whole team gets hyped up off of that, and that helps everybody play better. When that building is loud, the whole supporting cast, and of course, SGA got to lead the way.
They definitely set the tempo with their defense, creating that early and easy offense. But David Dennis Jr., we've been talking with you all season about Dennis the Menace, right? Like teams that can find a way to play the role of upsetter. So how can the Pacers find a way to play the role of upsetter this evening out in OKC?
Yeah, the third Q-tip was how the Thunder start the game.
Right.
Dennis the Menace is how the Indiana Pacers can end this game. They can steal this thing. They've been doing this all playoffs. And what we know from this series, outside the two blowouts, Game 2 and Game 6, whoever has won the fourth quarter has won the game. And the Pacers, they stay close. You can have a situation close to Game 1 because there's going to be a lot of nervousness in that arena, a lot of PTSD from Game 1. I was there. I heard that crowd when Haliburton hit that shot. If they feel like the Pacers can steal one more, everybody's going to be nervous. The Pacers are going to get more confidence. And if that ball's in Haliburton's hands, as the time is winding down, you know what happens. You know what happens.
Chest gets tight for all the opposition.
Right.
It's not easy in there because Hallie has shown a propensity to live for those moments. But real quick, though, and it's an absolute necessity, we got to get your predictions, fellas. Q, you go first, man.
OKC. I got the OKC at home.
All right.
Indiana Pacers, Rick Carlisle has been dialing up some magical stuff, and we got throw all the stats out. This team is on a magical run. They are just doing something special, riding this lightning bolt, and I think they're going to ride it all the way to a Game 7 win.
It's tough to pick against Indy right now. It feels like they just got the mojo going, but OKC is at home, so Q, we'll just have to see. Appreciate you as always, fellas.
NBA,